Hello class 11. Today I am starting with a new video with a new topic, that is sustainable development. Now first we need to know what is it. It is a pattern of economic growth in which resource aims to meet human needs while preserving the environment so that these needs can be met not only in the present but also for generations to come. There is an additional focus on the present generation's responsibility to improve the future generation's life by restoring the previous ecosystem and resisting any further damage to the ecosystem. So, by the definition, we are understanding a very clear concept that whatever resources we are utilizing now at present, the present generation, they have a responsibility for the future generations also to restore those resources for the future generations use, and also we have to restore the previous ecosystem in a proper way so that we can resist and also they can resist any damage to the ecosystem. So when the present generations are utilizing the resources, we must keep in mind that we have to also save some resources at least for the future generations. This is our responsibility, and in this way only our society can be sustainably developed. Clear? Now there are many principles. I have given 6 important principles. First principle is the principle of holistic approach. All things are interrelated parts of a system. Even minor challenges must be dealt with keeping in mind the wider environmental and global implications. Because this whole world is a part of the system, and if we think in this way that every part of the system are interrelated, then even a minor challenge, that means even a minor change in one of the parts, must be dealt with keeping in mind that the wider environmental and global implications, the consequences will be there, which is hampering the whole system. Okay, so definitely while doing any kind of changes, we must keep this in mind that everything is a part of a big system. Clear? Next principle, the principle of sustainable management of resources. Now, it ensures that we live within the carrying capacity of the ecosystem so that future developments are not. So we have to think about the future developments which should not be impaired. So it ensures that we live within the carrying capacity of the ecosystem, because the earth has got its own carrying capacity, and because ecosystem is a part of the earth, so definitely it has also got its own carrying capacity limits. So future developments are dependent on those carrying capacities of the ecosystem and as a whole the whole earth, and the future developments are also dependent on that, which should not be impaired in any ways. This is the second principle. The third principle is the principle of utilizing local resources. Now what is it? Efforts should be made to supply the needs of communities on a local level from local resources, because if we are talking about the sustainable development, then definitely local resources should be the first topic to be concerned, because local resources are very important part of our life, because if we don't build up ourselves locally, then the local resources, if they are not utilized properly, sustainably, then we have to borrow the things from the other countries, other communities, other levels. So that is not a part of the sustainable development. If we need a sustainable development of the society as a whole, then we have to focus on the local resources, bringing the communities on a local level, and the supply of the needs of the present as well as of the future generations must be adequate and enough, so that the local resources can provide these adequate resources and they can manage the needs of the generations. Clear? Number 4, each and every human being must be guaranteed fundamental human rights. I hope you all know about the fundamental rights. Now, what are the fundamental human rights? They must have access to equal opportunities for acquiring education and skill such that they can lead a meaningful life. Because, you know, there is always a barrier between the rich and the poor while we are talking about the education, about the skillful works which one gets trained for. So there must not be inequality in these cases, and they must acquire proper education and proper skillful trainings without any kind of disparity, any kind of inequalities, and they must have the access to equal opportunities to both of them. Number 5, the principle of public participation. Public participation in decision making should be strengthened. Now here again, as you can understand, we are talking about the democratic policy of our country, and this democratic policy should be strengthened in each and every country so that every public can participate very actively in the decision making, whatever it is, and this decision making concept must be strengthened. Okay. The last principle which I have jotted down is the polluter pays principle. Prices must reflect the real costs paid by society for activities involved in consumption and production as well as for their impacts. So whatever we are consuming, the publics, whatever we are producing, and what are the consequences, what are the results, what are the impacts on the society for those consumptions as well as productions, that we have to keep in mind. We should not use the resources in such a way that we have to pay a big price for that. So prices must reflect the real costs. This cost doesn't mean the monetary cost. This cost means whatever consequences which we have to face, which the society has to face for the activities which are done by us, by the publics, by the improper consumption, improper production of the commodities and the goods and services provided. Okay. So I have given students 6 principles. You all will go through those principles properly. Now I am coming to a different part of this topic, that is Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Now in 2030 or by 2030, what should be the goals for a proper sustainable development of our society? That they have given many in the book. I have jotted down the main 10 goals which should be there. First goal is to eradicate poverty in all its forms. The extreme poverty throughout the society, throughout the countries, it is a global concern, because you know many countries are still underdeveloped countries, and many countries are there which are developing countries. The highly developed countries are very less in our world. So we need to eradicate those extreme poverty lines from our society. Goal 2, very important, end hunger, achieve food security and improved nutrition. Goal 3, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education. Goal 4, achieve gender equality and empower women. Definitely here we are emphasizing on the empowerment of the women power. Goal 5, ensure availability and sustainable management of water, which is also a very big concern throughout the world nowadays, because you know water is decreasing or declining in quantity day by day. Goal 6, reduce inequality among countries. Goal 7, promote sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth. So this is again a very important point for the society as a whole. Goal 8, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Nowadays, so many climatic problems we are facing. So, urgent action to combat such climatic changes and their consequences, their impacts must be controlled and regulated properly. So, that is the goal 8. Because we cannot combat properly the natural calamities until and unless we are prepared for that properly. Goal 9. This is another important point. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable. Now what is this resilient means? Resilient means the society